Co-op gaming is a great way for two players to bond as they power through insurmountable challenges, solve brain-teasing puzzles, relax as they go through a charming world, or anything else along the same lines. While most players don't mind casual experiences that are pretty exciting in their own right, what really sells these experiences are the highly immersive ones where two or more players are completely absorbed in the game and what it's trying to achieve. It takes a Herculean effort to make a highly immersive co-op title, with some games being masterful and worth checking out for any fan of unique experiences that they can share with someone else. Hey there everyone, welcome to Game Rant, my name is Geoffrey. Today let's take a look at 7 of the most immersive online co-op games that you can check out right now. Number 7, Cry of Fear. For a free-to-play game, it's pretty amazing just how scary and engaging Cry of Fear really is. Trying to run a co-op server can be a lot of trouble, but players who finally manage to overcome this hurdle will be able to enjoy a spooky game with imaginative enemies and tough combat. The player who must try and uncover the mysteries surrounding this game while surviving with their co-op partner. It's not the greatest example of a co-op title, but is easy to be immersed in, to the point where players can genuinely get scared out of their wits when the atmosphere becomes overbearing. Number 6, Rust. Technically, Rust is more of a survival MMO than a pure co-op title, but players can certainly treat it like one as they band together with survivors to create a massive, impenetrable base. Trying to fend off other human raiders while teaming up together can make for a fun and immersive time indeed. While players can host private servers to limit their play session to just a few humans, the real fun with Rust comes from the many organic interactions that players can have with other human players. Without this element, the game can get pretty boring, and players won't be able to enjoy this experience as the developers really intended. Number 5, Phasmophobia. Phasmophobia, apart from really being a lot of fun to say, I'm just gonna be honest, is a game that took over the world by storm when it was released, with horror fans loving the ingenious mechanics of this paranormal ghost hunting title. A group of hunters band together to try and flush out a ghost from its haunted hideout, only for things to get eerie in no time at all. Players need to figure out the patterns of the ghosts and uncover their true identities before they get hunted down one by one. The creeping sense of dread as players get split from the group and end up being killed by the ghost makes for a nightmarish yet pretty darn memorable time as players get completely immersed in this co-op ghost hunting game. Number 4, Project Zomboid. A survival game where players are dropped in a dangerous zombie-infested world and need to stay alive every single day just by the skin of their teeth. Project Zomboid has slowly turned into one of the most popular indie games around. Seriously, I'm always hearing people talk about this one. Players can technically experience this game in co-op as long as they play on the same server and try to survive together. The game's role-playing elements help it stand out as one of the most unique games around, with players slowly coming to grips with how this title works as they die over and over again. The game may be pretty hardcore, but dedicated players who learn the ins and outs of this masterful survival game will never fear the zombies, although their immersion will still be maintained in this deep and rewarding game. Number 3, Stardew Valley. I mean, come on, it's Stardew Valley. Do I really need to say more? Okay. An indie game that has amassed a significant following. The brilliance of Stardew Valley can't be stated enough. The characters in this game are very charming, and the moment-to-moment gameplay remains fresh without frustrating players too much. To make things even better, players can enjoy this experience with a friend as well. Co-op adds to the strength of this masterful farming life sim game, and shows why players can sink hundreds upon hundreds of hours into this game without even breaking a sweat. Number 2, Divinity Original Sin 2. Larian Studios is on top of the world right now, with Baldur's Gate 3 having one of the most successful modern launches in the CRPG genre. I really need to get on playing this game. The game has been praised by critics and fans alike, with the sheer depth of its RPG mechanics coupled with an incredibly storytelling world that's been built out, establishing this game as one of the very best in the genre. Okay, so you might think this entry is about Baldur's Gate 3, but it's not, I promise. We're getting to Divinity Original Sin 2. Of course, players who had the pleasure of playing Divinity Original Sin 2 knew from the get-go that Baldur's Gate 3 would be an incredible game in its own right. Larian Studios have done a great job of modernizing the CRPG genre, with Divinity Original Sin 2 featuring a massive world, interesting characters, engaging combat, and, of course, as you guessed from this title of the video, co-op support if players want to experience the narrative together. Number 1. Left 4 Dead. To this day, the gameplay of Left 4 Dead, and by nature, of course, its sequel Left 4 Dead 2, stands strong as two of the most and best immersive zombie shooters around that happen to be great and perfect for co-op. The games are horrifying when players are fully immersed in this masterpiece, and trying to sneak around the many zombies that can take out the player with their numbers alone is just impossible without their comrades helping them out, since the AI teammates don't always do the best job, but hey, they're serviceable. There are many unique zombies in this game that can destroy players if they're not prepared to deal with their special attacks. The tank and the witch are especially nightmarish and can obliterate players who aren't careful while dealing with these foes. Plus, these games are still going strong, with players diving into the campy yet terrifying zombie-infested nightmares with their pals. And there we have it, 7 of the very best, most immersive online co-op games to check out right now. Thank you so much for watching this video from Game Rant. Have a truly wonderful and happy day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.